Hi guys, what's up? Hello guys, can you hear me? Uh, Hopefully you guys heard me right now because I was damn. I talked a lot of things and I forgot to open the stream. Shit. I opened the OBS studio but I forgot to click on the go live. That's why shit. I was working on this part, like I already came here and saw many things. Yeah, I think it was totally a waste right now. Okay, just leave it from here. Like, I read the steps and everything for you guys. Yes, we can. Sorry, guys. Actually, I wrote this part and going through a lot of things. I forgot to click on the go live. Damn. This is why when I'm saying and some nobody was commenting. Sorry. Really sorry about that. Okay, so let's start again. And the first point is like HTML is the thing we are going to talk about, but I'm going what my plan is like I'm going to help you to go through the HTML and everything like that, so that you can just income from HTML and learning by the CSS. Okay, I know it's hard, and honestly I don't believe that you are going to earn a lot of money just by learning HTML and CSS, but there will be a way. So we are going to talk about that, how we can do it. Okay, so before that you need to know about the steps that's normally we go through to make an app. Okay, so this is like a suppose your client has a million idea, okay, $1 million idea. Normally they don't have, but they believe they have some $1 million ideas. Okay, so he have an idea. So where should it start? Okay, so it start from the idea, then we make the wireframe. Do you guys know about the wireframe? Most people maybe know or don't know, so I will just show a example first. So this is the wireframe. Okay, so you can think it like the structure of a website, because it's just the backbone. You can think it like our backbone and everything like that. It's just the way how we set up our thing. Okay, so it's called a wireframe. So we are going to make from your client idea, like $1 million idea. Okay, $1 million idea, we are going to make a wireframe. Okay, so after the wireframe we are going to make a high fidelity design. Okay, that's called also the UI design with images and everything. Okay, so I can show you from here, like see, this one is a UI design, this one is a UI design, this one is a UI design. I mean just the prototype. You can think about that, it is the prototype. Okay, so prototype, it doesn't work yet, but it's just a design. Okay, so after the UI design we normally convert it into the HTML and CSS. Okay, that's we call also the front-end development. And finally we are just going to use the front-end and back-end to load the dynamic data. And final, this is our final idea, and we launch, suppose, and client failed to $1 million, because their idea sometimes they most of the time their idea is just a shit. Okay, just leave it. That's just a personal idea, because I worked a lot. I started with a lot of jobs, and in the middle most of the jobs uh, is incompleted, and they left it because they don't have the money, they don't have the plan properly, they don't have a ways of it. Like recently I worked with a client, and what my experience is like, uh, he was really I mean he was really cool about his idea. He thought that this is going to work, this is going to work, and this is going to work, but he doesn't have even money to pay me. Like I charged him a really low, because he was coming from a, I mean, a reference, and he was making his website in WordPress. So I thought I will charge really low, because I don't have to custom code anything. I will just teach you how to use the WordPress and how to make something like that. Okay, so that's why I didn't charge him much thing, but he can't give me the $100 for what help I did. So he said that he need to like he will not have enough money if he just gave me $100. So then I understand that there is no way this guy is going to make the $1,000,000 idea, because everything is free on the YouTube, right? You have to go there, you have to learn from there. But you are trying to hire people to do your work, and you are hoping that you will reach $1,000,000. That's really bogus, right? That's the thing. So that's why sometimes, most of the time, the work doesn't work. I mean, the client work doesn't work well. That's why I don't believe that much of client. That is just my idea. Okay, so there is also some good clients who are really well, and they know what they need. Like, I got some clients who are really or well organized, okay, and also they have the idea what's going on the market and what is not going on the market. You can't just come out somewhere and thinking about that your idea is $1,000,000 idea. Okay, so yeah, your idea can be a $1,000,000 idea when you have already a good product on it, right? People have already Facebook. If you are just going to build a Facebook today, of course it's a $1,000,000 idea, we can say that. But the problem is, we already have the Facebook. Nobody is going to go for you. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so what I'm trying to say, like, wireframes, normally the people are going to make it using the paper and pen, and you can use the Adobe XD or Figma. If you are Windows, this is a good choice, really good choice. And you are going to use Sketch if you are going to use Mac. Okay, so about the UI design, you have the Adobe XD or Figma and Sketch, both are works the same. So I'm just going to make you, this is a Figma. Okay, so I will just cross it and I will open it for again, like, click here, and we have this Figma. Okay, so I will just create a new file for you guys so that you can understand. Okay, I think this one just a new file, doesn't have it. Okay, so this is how what we have when we are starting any Figma. Okay, so let's just create a frame. First you need to create a frame, so clicking here will create a frame. Okay, so we are just going to make a desktop frame for now, because we are going to make a desktop app. Okay, so it has some limit, like 1440 and 1024 is like its width and a height. So first, now let's make some rectangle, because we are just going to make a really low one. Okay, so for now this part will be the navbar. Maybe make it a little bit lower, and just write the name here like navbar, but it's too small, so I will just increase the font size to 72. I think this is a good thing. Yeah, so yeah, this is how we merge middle it, and we need the next section. Okay, so suppose this one is a hero section, and half part will be here. You can think like uh, a design or a text, and a half part will be just your image. Okay, so for the image part, maybe I will make it a little darker, or just for pink color for now, and I will just copy it using the alter. Okay, so I will just write the image here, and I will just take it using the alter, so it's copy, and I will like hero text or something like that. Okay, so it is the first part of the text, and we can give a change color, like something different and unique. Okay, this too unique. Okay, so you can think about the next part is like second section. Okay, and second section you can think about like you will give the about us here. Okay, so let's just make it the whole section. We will give it the whole section place and about us. Okay, so it's just the idea, nothing much. Okay, so now what we can do, we can make the frame larger, because we have more thing to do. So we can just take it and make it larger. Okay, so about us will be there. So for now, about us here. So maybe let's think about, we are making an agency. Okay, so agency app, agency website, because we want to sell, right? Yeah, this video will be on my channel, so you can watch later, but I will answer your question. If you have any question, just put it. Okay, so if you need any help, I will just directly going through that, and that will be a good discussion. Okay, so after that, this is the second section, and you can see like header. Okay, so something like heading text. because this one be the hero text one and heading. Then suppose you are just going to sell the service here, services. Okay, so here, and maybe you will make the cards here. Okay, so let's put some cards. Okay, I'm using the alter, so it is just going from both side. Okay, so let's make some small cards, and 1 2, and let's make another one. So we got 3 cards for the service. Okay, so you can think about like this one is a card. Okay, so maybe I can just put it here and here. Okay, now we need to make a little bit higher, like services. Then you can think about this one like portfolio or old works or client works maybe. Okay, so you need to make this field bigger to work with it. Okay, so client works, and maybe you can just put some slider here, like you can think it's a slider for now. Okay, I will make it larger. So think about it, this one is a slider. Okay, okay, maybe I can make it middle. Okay, sounds good. And finally maybe the last one is like just contact with us, or you can think like this one will be the footer. Okay, sorry, and I can make this one a little dark, and maybe this one will be the footer for us. So yeah, it's too big. Let's just make it a little darker here, and let's just make the text white. Okay, text is lower than that. Maybe just copied it and use some other colors. For some reason it just don't come. Okay, why it goes on the behind. Okay, for now just leave it like this way. Okay, I'll just come back for that part. And yeah, so suppose this one is a footer. Okay, so this is all we have about the agency, and you can think like you can change it, like you can put the client work above the service if you want, and you can change it of course and do different things. Okay, so this is just a Figma, and we will get something like this. Okay, so I will show you a little bit about the Adobe XD. Both are free, so you can use it, but they have some payment option too. Okay, so yeah, you can use that part too. So I downloaded something today. Let's see if it is come on the recent part. It doesn't come. Okay, I will just open my folder and show you. I have downloaded one free one UI design for you guys today. Let's see if we can see it. For some weird reason XD is slow, so this is why some people use the Figma, because Figma is somehow faster or sometimes works better. Adobe is not that great. Okay, so see this one. So this is a agency landing page. You can think of the here the logo, here the navbar, then you have the title, then you have the images, then you have something like about us or something, then you have the skills, then you have the services, then work portfolios, and I miss the testimonial. Yeah, also some blog feeds if you have maintaining any blogs, that's a good way. And also finally the how to contact with me, and finally the footer. Okay, so this is all you have. So this is what we are calling about the UI design, and the one I made for you guys, that is the wireframe. Okay, so why a front-end developer should know about this? Like there is no way you need to know about this, right? But if you guys are trying to freelance, then sometimes you can't hire a UI designer for you, so maybe this learning this tool will help you to get some extra money. Plus sometimes this is going to help you to get some really quick things, like quick change. You can think about like if you change in a code, it took time to do that, but if you just wanna see something and change a section or something like that, you can do it first time in this way. Okay, so both have the benefit and losing. Like sometimes using the website took time. Sometimes, I mean, the code took time, and sometimes using the design took less time. Okay, so it's up to you how you are going to do it. Okay, so that is what you need to know about it. And yeah, so you can do the both things. So I will just write it for the Windows. You need the Adobe XD or Figma, and for that Mac you are just going to use the Sketch. Okay, so that is what we are going here. The next point about that, like now we have the design and we have the everything, so how we are going to make a front end design. Okay, so many people just complicated the things. Like if you are going to make this one, you don't have to use some fancy things, or it's just if you have this just one page or something really small or easier thing, you don't have to use really tough like React.js or something like that, because you can just easily make it. Hello guys, can you hear me now? I think it was a little problem with the internet. Let me know if you can hear me right now. Sorry about that. mm, can anyone tell me what's going on currently? Because I maybe missed a little bit part of it because my connection was slow for some reason. Hate this. uh, just let me know if anyone, yeah, so you can hear me. Okay, so I will just continue from that part I left. Actually, net was a really bit slow and pain in ass. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here, like, so we need to know about the HTML and CSS to make things really good or something like that, you can think. So the HTML is you guys know about the HTML, right? So let me know about how many guys you know totally about the HTML and you were confident about it. Then I will not go through it, like not totally, I will just go through and watch, tell you guys about the CSS then. So do you guys need any help or something like that with HTML? Like HTML has some not really much improved, or you can think like it's changed a lot. Like the old one and new one has just a little change. Okay, I'll just go a little bit about it. Like what you were facing on the Mahavir Singh, what you were facing with the Visual Studio Code. Okay, I created the index.js. That is not what my main goal is. uh, I need to create the index.html. Okay, so if you write something like this, just a exclamatory, then you can just tab it, then you will get everything. Okay, so I'll just explain here. Let's just write the hello world here, or maybe just introduction. Okay, so from here, if you, I don't know how many guys you know for the totally things, but yeah. So first part, the doc type is coming from the HTML5. Okay, so HTML5 is little bit different from its old one. So to enable the HTML5, you need to write it. Okay, so doc type HTML. For enable, I will just write some comment. Yeah, so for enable HTML5. Okay, so here you can put some language and everything like that. That's up to you how you're going to handle it. So some people use it uh, like this way, and you need to wrap the whole thing into wrap the whole thing into HTML. Okay, so this is a way. Then you need to have two parts. Okay, two parts, head and body. And in the head you are going to put something like in head you are going to metadata. Some metadata I will talk about it, like different type of, for the responsiveness we are just going to use this metadata called viewport for responsiveness. Okay, viewport. Then for the different character support, like different language, like we have different language, not only English, so we have to give this one for the character set. Okay, so there is something for the ACO we normally do for that. Yeah, so that's it. That is one thing we are going to put in here, like, okay. Then another thing will be needed, like links, different links for the CSS links, HTML, not the HTML link, you can think about the JavaScript links. That's we need to put on the head. Okay, so most of the time we put in to the head. And final thing is like the title. Okay, so title, the name of the web page, that is we are going to put here. Okay, and I will close the Adobe XD because this is not much needed. When I came my live server browser to Chrome, it shows me there is issue right into some username. Maybe check that for the Google, and that will be helpful for you. Okay, so next part we are just going to work with, like, this is for you need to know about the head. Okay, so like metadata, responsive, viewport, links, title, and web page. That's all you need to know about. Okay, so that is the good thing. And after that, on the body we are just going to put everything on the body, like every data is going to be on body. Okay, like any data, whatever you want to show on your website, okay, it will be into the there. Okay, so first one, there is a many tag, like for the heading we are using heading, we are using h1 h2. It has some different thing, you can just check out, and it's really easy. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about that h3 h4 h5 today. I'm just going to talk about like how to structure the whole thing. Okay, so suppose if we are trying to make this one like the Figma one I made for the agency. Okay, so there have a nav bar, right? After the nav bar we have the header. Okay, so this whole part you can think about like this is a header. Okay, so you can think about like the whole part is a header. Okay, so what we are going to put, we have something called semantic HTML. Okay, so semantic HTML give us different thing to put, like this will be the header section. Okay, so you can think about header section, then you will see something like nav. Okay, so this is what we have, like nav and header section. Then in this part you can think about the section, like this section will be, we call it like header section. Okay, so about the nav we can call it the class is equal to nav bar. Okay, so this is one way you can put the nav before the header, it's up to you, but most of the time we just do both in same way, like inside the header we put the nav bar and we put the header section. Okay, so another thing I'm going to tell you, like give everything is a class, because in the CSS we are just going to call using this class, so better choice you put something on here, like everything just give a class name. Okay, so this is a good way to work with. Okay, so after that you need to make some section, like for us, for our first section is about us, so we will just write that. Then we have another section called let's check again like what we have, like the about us, then we have the service, client works, and finally footer. Okay, services you can think about it, then you can think about this part is portfolio, then final part will be the footer. Okay, so here we are going to make the footer, and whatever you put, maybe you are just going to put a div call, yeah, div call something, what we can call it, like this the social links and everything like that, and I need to give something. Yeah, so you can just give a space here, yeah, that's all you need to know about the footer. So this part is going to have your footer, and this part is going to have your section, and in the header the you will have the first part, or you can think about the whole first section on there, like this whole section will be there. Okay, so it's up to you how you're going to make this, but it's a structure, or you can think it's a standard way to make the things. And finally, if you have any JavaScript, you will just call it from here, like script, then you have to give the source and you will just call it from here. Okay, so put your JavaScript in the lower part. So there is a benefit behind it. When you are going to put your JavaScript here, then it will load when your body loaded. Okay, or if you put the script here, then your JavaScript also need to download before the whole thing run. Okay, so best way to put your JavaScript here. Okay, so that is another thing I want to mention. So let's think about next step. Like, we have the whole thing and we created the body and everything like that. So where to go now? So we need to think about writing different stuff, and we need to make a CSS. Okay, so there is a multiple way you can write CSS. Like three way are really popular. Like, one is style. You can put the style here, and let's just give a hero section like h1 hero section and call it hero main text. Okay, let's give a class name on here, like class name, and let's put something here like color is equal to, let's put some blue. Okay, so now running this is, there is multiple way you can run. You can just click and open it with browser, but we are just going to use some live server. Okay, so live server will give us the view of it directly. So I install something called live server here. You can see this one is by Ritikda, and it has a huge download, so you can use it and you can see the live view of server. Okay, so that's why we're just going to use it, and here we will get it. Okay, so for now I will just click and open it with the live server, and we can see, yeah, see, we got the hero section. From here I will just make it here, and I will just make it here. Okay, so maybe I will just stop this one and make a little bit bigger. Okay, so I'm using the VS Code. Okay, so from here the section and everything like that, like, see, this is the one way you can write. Okay, so but one thing you can do, you can just put style here. Okay, so you can put the color here, like color red. Okay, see, it is rewriting the whole thing, right? So that is one thing you need to know. Like whenever you put that, this called the inline style. Okay, so inline style has the more power. So whenever you are putting the inline style, then it is going to give you the whole I mean, it is going to take, like, this one is on the color red because we give is the inline style, but it also have the color blue that is not working. So normally we are not going to use any inline style because it's create confusion, right? So you are giving the color blue here, but it is getting something else because of the inline style. That's why we are not going to use it anytime. Okay, so let's create another CSS file. Okay, so style.css. Okay, right now we can use I mean, we can do the same code. Like, let's just use the, okay, so we got it, and let's give a color like, let's blue violet. Okay, so let's see which one get it. Like, we didn't get it because we don't include this one. Okay, so first we need to include this one. We are just going to after the meta tag. Okay, so link here, and let's go to the style.css. Okay, so right now it's linked, but see, still it is showing this one because your link, I mean, whenever you put the link, the code will be from here. Okay, so CSS works like on the latest code. Okay, so if you are putting this before this link, then you will see the another color. Let's put the red there. Okay, so something like red, so that we can easily get it. Okay, so we put the red here, but see, whenever we put the style here, both are the same thing. Like this one is blue, but we are getting the that one. So we need to know about that. Whichever we are going to put in the last, that is going to work. Okay, so you can think about that. So first one, I can write the meta tag will go here. Meta tags will go here. All the style sheet link will go here. Okay, also then finally the title will go here. Title will go here. Okay, so I will just delete. We don't have to work like this way. Okay, so we are just going to make another file for the CSS. Okay, so to work with the CSS, you need to remember the whole thing. Like this is the header and this is the hero section, everything like that. Okay, so CSS, about the CSS, most of the guys CSS is really easy. You can think of it like CSS has different thing. Like if you go to the syntax, and syntax is really easy. Like this part is the declaration, and this is the property, and you have the value. So different thing has different property, and you can think about the selector. Okay, so you normally we have the simple selector, and which we call like this way, like text align, then color. This is really simple. Then we can I mean, this using the class name. Okay, or you can think like this is not using the class name, right? We can just use the h1 here, like h1, and put it here. Okay, so if you put h1, it's also give us the whole thing. But if you put something on this part, like in the hero section also, not about the hero section, about us, that's also become the same thing, right? So let's just read of the class. Okay, see, this is getting the same thing, but we want to black here. Okay, so what we can do, we can one thing like give a class and give the color to the class. Okay, so that's our one goal that we can do. That is a good way that we differentiate different things. What we can do, like we can give another class like heading, uh, or you can write the heading about. Okay, so for that we can write that and give the class name as the same, like heading about, and give the color is like blue. So this is another way how we can do. But we can put a one color to everyone, like the color will be black. Okay, so see, it's all rewritten by both of these. But if we don't do that and just put comment on it, then we are going to see the black. Okay, so the last one is going to work. So what you can do about these whole colors, or if you have multiple section, like we are going to make it on a same way, right? This one is about the service. Okay, so this one is about the portfolio. Okay, so there is nothing on the footer. Okay, so let's just create about different things like about us. Let's put the services. Let's put the portfolio. Okay, so this is all we have right now. What we can do, we need to make some stylish, but we are going to give some special character to everyone and every different things. Like what we can do, we can give some color, not the color, maybe the padding. For now, padding is something like, I hope you guys already know, it's just going to give some space from here and there. We can show it from here, like from the console. If I make it zoom, and let's give something a place. See, see, this one is style, and see the whenever you click here, then you can see the spaces, right? Because this is spaces, yeah. So it also has some margin, right? On the top it has some margin, on the lower bottom it has some margin. That margins come from different browser. Okay, so if you go to the Mozilla, then your margin on the top, that will be something different, and in this part it's different. Okay, so we need to do some reset. Okay, so that every browser show it similar way. So reset the margin and padding. Okay, we will do it a little bit later, so that every browser we got the same result. Browser has some CSS and CSS, so that it whenever you write the H1, it also give us some spaces which was not there. Okay, so mm, okay, so what I'm trying to tell you, like, we have the multiple headings right now. Okay, so we are just going to give a padding here, and maybe we just want to change the color or something like it. All have something commons, right? Like if you just give it like text text align for now, suppose just give center, so it goes to the center. Okay, so let's put something like on the background, background color maybe for now, just give this one. See, all three has something. Okay, so color will be white. Yeah, see, we have some little margin, we have some padding stroke up and top and everything. What are the meta tags? Okay, so meta tags is something like different ways. Like here the viewport one is for the responsiveness. If you don't write this one, then you will not get the information about the different viewport. Like it this one has a some special heading, I mean, what I can say, like height and weight, right? Like height, some height and some width. It is not going to give you that if you don't have this one. Okay, and also the character set, like a different type of character. Like if you want to do something on different language, then you have to put something like UTF. You need to know about this. Actually, I don't know much about it, but yeah, you need to know about it. And also we put the SEO here, like different SEO, like you have some keywords, like, right? So there are, like, you can also put the favicon here. Yeah, so you can put the favicon, then it will show from here on this point. Okay, so that's why we use the meta and everything like that. Okay, that's link actually, but we have some other meta, like, yeah, see the different, the VP and different type of things. Okay, so meta has some that part of work. After that, if you think about the hero section and about us, and we can write some code for it to make it different. Like we have the hero matrix, and let's just put some portfolio, and so the one is portfolio and the one is like heading service. Okay, so we are just going to get the same thing for everyone, but maybe for the main heading we are just going to improve the font size. Maybe it will be the 30 pixel. Okay, so it will be a little bit bigger. Okay, so about the, also can we we got some font size here, like, see, this one is twin, there is no font size for now, but see, this one is getting 1.5 em is something different. Okay, but I will just say where it is coming from. It is coming from the browser, because you have this browser. So if I zoom it, it will change, right? It's adapted with the browser. That's it. So you need to know about the browser has some CSS that is going to make your CSS a little bit changeable. Okay, so you need to fix your front if you want to do that. Like in the body, you can first fix size, front size, like 100 pixel. Okay, so maybe the not the 100 pixel, the 10 pixel. Okay, so put it here. Then after that you can just do something like this, like 300%, then it will be the 31. Okay, so late after that you can put like 200. Okay, you can put the 200 here too, and you can put the 200 here too. So you can see it's changing. Okay, so this is a one way that whenever you are going to make it on the smaller skin, like suppose you are going to mobile, you can just smaller this one, like 5 pixel, give the 5 pixel, and it will be easily smaller, right? So this is one way how you can use the font size to make it easier. Okay, so for now I will just give everyone the 25, and it looks like this way. Okay, so let's just change the background color. Maybe for the main hero text we are not going to do it, but for the heading and about something else we are going to do it. Like for them, just give a background color which is little bit changeable. Like for this one, this Give a coral for background color. Maybe the dark, yeah, see, this one is changed and we have different stuff here. Okay, so CSS is really easy. You just need to know about the different things and what you can do. Like whenever you have the same design for this one, this one, this one, and this one, you can just put a group, something like this way: heading about, then comma, then heading services, comma, and then heading portfolio, comma. Okay, so you can just put this one on here. Okay, so it will go all for the child. Okay, so see, for these three you are getting the 25. So if you want to give something higher, you can just change it just by one place. Okay, so this is something really handy in some sense. Okay, so this is a CSS selector. Then you can think about different class name. This one is a class. So then you have some universal, like for the every element of your thing. Okay, so if we go here, like let's give we have some margin here, right? So if we just go and inspect this one, then we will see some margin on this part, right? We can just lose out that. How? For the every element on the page, using the star, we are just going to get it. So how we are going to get it? Like margin 0. Okay, so whenever we put it, see, there is no extra margin. Okay, also what we can do, we can just putting the padding is equal to 0, then there will be no extra padding too. Okay, so that's the benefit. So this is what you can call the resetting. Okay, this is important, so you need to reset the whole thing, so it's easier for you. Okay, on the HTML you can put some different thing like this way, the body, and which is just going to do, like let's give a margin for both sides, like 10 pixel. Okay, so a little space from everywhere, like on the top or just for the left and right. Okay, so 10 px we can get it. Okay, so then you just need to put or actually you can put the padding like 0, 10 px. That will be the better thing. And this is how you don't have any, like it will be always inside of that. Like see, it will be always there, like here a little path and here is a little blank for it. Okay, so this is a good way that you can make it. Just the idea, nothing much. So yeah, that's also you can center the text if you want. You can make the text align to center. Okay, so this is going to be applied for everyone. Like if you don't have this text aligned right now, it's going to happen for everyone. So it's the child of the body, like body is this one and it's all child, like this one, this one, this one, this will inherit from the body. Okay, so you need to remember that if you are working with the CSS. Okay, so for now we are not going to give that, and yeah, this is all we have right now. And let's go to the CSS and grouping. Yeah, so I told you about the grouping, and there is a lot of things that you can learn from here, and it's really easy, not that hard, like different things or something like that. But I will just show you about the some different things like animation, like this one is a keyframes and everything like that. Okay, so not that part. Okay, object fade and the flexbox, this one is important to know for the different type of things. And yeah, so for now I will show something really interesting for you guys. Okay, so first, whenever you are starting any project, I will delete the whole code because this is not important right now. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, so whenever you are starting a new project, first you need to do the resetting, so you don't have any extra margin or something like that. This way you will know what to do with your code. Like if you have any margin, need any margin, just give it. Like if you need on the margin on the hero section, just get it and give the margin, like margin 10 pixel. Okay, so then it will get the margin. If you need to change the font size, make it, but that's the better choice. Like you don't have any fixed thing, or you don't have any extra code which is going to make the things harder for you. Okay, so how we are going to do the whole stuff, like, okay, so if we think about the making the hero section, for now there will be a nav bar. Okay, so in the nav bar, first we will have some eval, or you can call the nav bar, okay, so nav bar list or something like that. Then you will have the li, where it will be like nav item. Okay, so then inside of that you will have some a, and this will have hold the link, and it should, you should give something here like nav link. Okay, so something like that. So now you just need to put some navbar item, like for home is the first one, then you have the about. Okay, then you have different things like home, about, then services. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So navbar list has some work. First you need to put something, as I said, you need to give a class name to everything. So first you need to list style type. Okay, so you can do that. Maybe you can do it from here, like list style 9. If we put the circle, that's not work, so maybe it's going to work from there. So I'm just zooming it so that you can see from the from here we don't have any list item. Okay, so we have some blank here and everything like that. So one thing you can do, like using using the nav item. Okay, so every item has, we have something, so we need to do it on the, you can think display. Okay, so display, if you put the inline here, then you will see everything is on inline, or you can put something like inline block, then it will have some block. So after that you can give some padding like 20 pixel. Okay, it's too big because, yeah, so it's look like something like this in one way. Okay, so something like this it will look. Maybe you can just put front size is like 200% because 20 pixel. And what we can do, we need to change something from the nav link. Okay, nav link will be like, this is the a, right, anchor tag, and we got something like text decoration will be none. What's the text decoration? Like the underline, and we have some option here, you can check it from here. Like whenever you click somewhere and you got it, and check it from here, how many options we have. See the blink, the dash, the dotted, double, inherit, line throw. Like if we give the line throw, then it will look like this. If we change it and give it like overline, then it's on the top. Is underline, then it's there. It's wavy, then we have nothing to show. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so we are just rewriting the thing, like text decoration is none. Then we can choose the color. Color is equal to like whatever we are going to put, antique white maybe for now, and maybe we can put some black here. And about the whole thing, like nav. Okay, so we put the nav bar, right? So maybe the nav bar background can be antique white, then it's look. Okay, also you can center it like text align center. See the whole thing on the center. So this is what we have, and it's also the link, so you can go somewhere else with using it. Okay, so this is the basic part, and you can do stuff like this way, like this really easy. You need to do one by one, one by one, one by one. Okay, so let's think about the hero section right now. So in the hero section we normally have two side, like left side most of the case they have the left side, and most of the case they have a right side. Okay, so we are going to put some code here. So first in the left side we have a header. Like for now, just put something like lorem 10. Okay, that's too big. Maybe something like this. Okay, so lorem is just a text side, what you can think. Okay, so this one is our subheading. Okay, so we are just going to put subheading, then we can put something like main heading. Okay, so hero section is the main point where you are going to start. Okay, from here you are just going to call the hero section. Okay, so after that you need to put some left side and right side code. So left side is just going to take the 50% of the width, so maybe you can just put the width is 50%. Okay, also the right side is going to take the 50%, and let's just put an image here. Like we can get the image from the Unsplash. Okay, slow. Maybe try the pixels in that time. Yeah, pixel is first. Okay, so let's just try the cook. Okay, so what I can do, I can just copy the image address and I can just put it here. Okay, so you need to put a alt, so if sometimes your thing doesn't load, then you can think like cock battle. Okay, just put it. So see, it's on here. What we are going to do, we are going to give the right sides the same way. Okay, so you can just write it here, because this both has the same thing. Yeah, we give the 50-50%, but it doesn't work because it's not inline. Or you can think like you can try to put display like inline block, but it still not work. Maybe the 45% will work. See, when I put the 45%, it's worked. Yeah, so inline is a way, but normally inline is really hard to maintain. Like if you have huge size and you can change it. Okay, so this is a way. So what we are going to use, we have something better right now, that's called a flexbox. Okay, so that is what I'm going to teach you first, then I'm going to teach you something else too. So flexbox is really easy to use. Okay, so you have to find out what you are going to make. Okay, so for now you have to have two sides, right side and left side, and you have the parent called hero section. So you are going to make this part as a flex box. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are just going to get the hero section. So hero section, and we are going to give this display inline, sorry, not inline, this one is flex. Okay, so whenever we have put the flex, it's already gone into some portion. Okay, so there is something called justify content. You can put the start. Okay, so normally it's start, then if you put the center, you will see the whole thing is on the center. See, this part is on the center and this part is on the center. I will show you, just do it this way. Maybe we should just change the font size. For now I'm just not going to give any font size. Okay, so then you can see the normal font size and it's easier. Okay, so let's put something on here. Justify content. Okay, so we have the flex, sorry, I'm just going to somewhere else. Okay, so hero section, we have different option in justify content. Okay, so it means where the content will be. Like see, the center is going to take it on the center and the end is going to take on the end side, then flex end will take you on the flex end part. Okay, so start will take you the whole thing on the start part, then this two part is not going to have anything, and right, and if you give the space around, then it will give you the space. Okay, when you are going to give the space between, let's see, it's just gone from there to this part. Okay, so yeah, that's when you give the space evenly, it will take the same part of here, same part of here, same part of space from there. Okay, so what we can do, we can just put it on to like space between was a good way to work, then space around is a good way to work. Like if we put the space around, it will look like this way. Okay, so but that is not totally our goal. We are going to make it more interesting. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are just going to give it like, not this one, not this one actually. mm. So maybe the space between will be yeah, because we need this one on the left and this one on the right. That will be a good idea, right? mm. Also we can work on something else. There is another benefit of the flexbox. Okay, so let's just put the hero section and let's just give it something else. Like from here I'm just going to give something else. This called the align items. Okay, so you can put it on the baseline. Whenever you are putting it on the baseline, that's mean it's going on the down. Okay, so for now I'll show it from here, like align items baseline. Okay, so it's just go on the lower part and both are on the same way. Okay, then we have something called, okay, so center. Okay, so it will be on the center of this image. Okay, so that's also good. And we have some other option like flex end, flex start, and that's all I think. So main part is we are going to give it center, and space around will be, I think, the best choice for us in this particular point. Okay, so space around, so we are just going to use the space around here, then we will get some space from both end. But this is not properly correct, right? So maybe just give it some fixed width, or align item maybe center. Okay, another thing you can think about, like flex has a direction. Normally it's go to the column. Okay, so whenever you put, sorry, it goes into the rows. So whenever you put the column, then it will go inside of thinking of the column. Okay, so then the align item and justify an item will just change. Okay, so this is the thing. So you can go to the flex direction and it's the row, and you can reverse the whole thing. Okay, so then your text will be there and image will be there. Okay, so sometimes using flex is really good. You can just get the data from the flex about here, CSS tricks. You can get a whole lot of things here, like what to do, how to do everything from here. So I will suggest you to think about the CSS tricks. Okay, that's a good thing for us. Okay, so that's almost thing, and we can think about like giving the 50% of the width both hand, and or we can give some padding for both, like 20 pixels, so we got some left from every side. Yeah, that's the thing. And yeah, it looks somehow nice in some side. Like hero section right side has an image, right? So we can get that image and we can call it like with 100%, so it will just take the place that it have. Okay, so it's the 100%, and yeah, so it is a way. Another thing I would like to mention, like if we are making this one, we have this some space behind top and left, right? But sometimes we don't have that chance, like we don't have that much way, like you can think about it. So what we do, we wrap the whole thing inside of a container. Okay, so you can think about like a div, and we call it class container. Okay, okay, so we are putting something called container, and this is not working because our all code of the hero section does just disappear. Okay, so we are going to put it inside of the container. So main container code is something like this. Okay, so we have to think about a size which will be the best one. Like we have a width, right? For this whole thing we should have a width. Like not every website is really big, or you can think about it like if we go to the CSS tricks, it doesn't take the whole thing. See, the it's just take some part of it. Like yeah, go and see, it's just take this part. Okay, so you have some width, no matter how small or how big you are going. Like you should left some space here, because then the text should be really big on the on something like a big window. So we are just going to do something like this. uh, we have the container and we need to give the margin 0 auto, then it will on the middle, like see, it will always give us this nice part like 12,000. Okay, so we can write it, write the whole thing on here. Okay, so also our hero section container need to give this extra thing, because we are rewriting, because our code is like that way. Okay, so this is what we have right now, because our width and everything like that. You have some scrolling on this part, because we are not optimizing this one. Okay, so this is always fixed. So I will teach you a little bit of how to make it responsive. Like you can search about media query, that is what we are is going to help us for it. Okay, so I'll just show you. Like let's get its height. Like if you make it larger and bigger, then you will get the size. See, there is, it's like 800 pixel. Okay, so 790, this one width is 790. So let's just make a little bit, and when this one is like media only and screen, and you need to give the max width. Okay, so max width will be like 780. So when the 780, we need to make the container a little bit different. The container will something like maybe give the 90% of width. Okay, so then we will have some little bit place. Actually the max width means, if we put the mean width, yeah, so mean width means it's whenever it's become inside of this, then this code will apply. Okay, so if you click here and if you see the container from this part, like see container, it happens because it's on into the 7. Okay, so that's why normally wherever you are going, getting it, yeah, not that, actually it will be the max width. uh, Whenever we have the max width, you are going to, okay, yeah, actually it's bigger than what I thought. So let's get the size from here. uh, we are not getting any size. Mm, see, it's about 790 or 850. Okay, just put 815 here. That's mean whenever the max height is, like your height of your portion is around 815 pixel, then you are just going to use the width 90%. Okay, so not fixed, it's just going to take the 90%, and whenever you go to the lower part, it will absorb the window. Okay, so can you guys hear me well again? I thought I missed some connection again. Unable to connect chat, please try again. So if I make it bigger, then it doesn't work. So whenever we are just only that part, whenever we are on the that part, that's Yeah, so inside a wilder version of VS Code, that's why it looks different. uh, okay, so this is what we have about that right now. So yeah, this is what the flexbox work, or you can think like this is how we can work with the flexbox. Okay, so flexbox is just a one way that how you can get this shape, like different type of thing. Okay, so there is another new one which is people are using nowadays, that you need to know about, like CSS grid. Okay, so okay, so it's like you are just going to write the whole thing in at once and you can use it. Okay, there is a really good thing I think for it, like CSS grid, uh complete guide. And can I use, okay, by the way, doing before doing anything you should just check about the browser. Okay, so can I use is a really good thing, like you can just search the grid here, then it will show which browser supports it. Like if you have some browser who need support, like Opera Mini doesn't support it, so if you need some Opera Mini browser people, then you shouldn't use the grid because there is no way that it's going to happen. Then partial support with the Internet Explorer 10 and 11. It depends on you if you want to do that. Yeah, also see about the CSS grid, you can get everything from here. Okay, so we can make the whole thing about the CSS grid. Like we just need to change it, like display is equal to grid. Okay, so I will just put this code, and we are just going to use something called new grid. So if I just go back, and we will see the old one, like the picture is the below and it's on the top, so we are just going to make it side by side. So how we can do it, so there is something called column templates. Okay, so grid template columns, so we can put it here, like grid template columns, and we can give something like 50% 50%. Okay, so whenever we are going to do it, then it's going to take this first part is going to take 50% and second part is going to take the 50%. Go to the